Quarantine is tough. Not being at the theater, also tough. Every day that I was at the theater, I felt like I was learning something new. And so being away from it, it's hard because you want to be involved with putting on a show. So I've decided that over the course of our fundraising month, I'm going to be interviewing the different minds that put together Bob Baker shows, whether it's Kevin, doing the stagecraft, or Alex setting an example for how a theater should be directed. As you might know, spring would have been our Something to Crow About season. Now that's a show that I've never been in, it's a show I've never seen, but I've heard a lot about it. I've heard that it's Bob Baker's masterpiece. My name is Safi, and it's time to figure out just what it is that everyone is crowing about.
Yo, yo, one foot,
What you growing about?
Alex Evans, it's great to have you on the show.
It's great to be here, Safi.
What was Bob's relationship to Something to Crow About?
But essentially, Crow About the Bob was like essentially his life's work and like a pinnacle display of kind of everything that he cared about. And when we were looking for a new space, we were looking for a space that could stage Crow About exactly as Bob intended it. Like one of the things I love most about Bob is that, and like I mean this positively, like he was never happy. Like he was never like, he never sat down, took a break, and was like, oh, I'm done, I'm finished. He's like always, oh, we could do this, this, and this, and this, or what if we add this? Like his brain was always spinning with ideas of adding and tweaking things. So in a case like Crow About, he's, that show every season was kind of being updated. But I mean, the fun kind of question always is like, oh, what is the heart and soul of Crow About that we can't change? And then everything else just needs to fit around that.
What would you say then is the heart and soul of Crow About?
I mean, I think it's atmosphere. I think that's the heart and soul of Crow About. Like Crow About feels like it is an environment. Like the curtains open and you go like into a farm kind of populated with all these fun characters. There's this kind of ever expanding kind of environment that just feels right and feels authentic. So about 2 years in the beginning of the theater, I saw Papa Mama Goat, like these like amazing goat marionettes. And I was like, what is that? Like what is that magical puppet and show? Where is that from?
Yeah.
And that was like my first exposure to Crow About, just seeing the puppets and being like, oh, I love Bob Baker, and I love that especially.
This show is nostalgic for folk and country life, it seems, and it gives that experience to its audiences. And I wonder what Bob's relationship to that kind of living is.
I only can talk for so much for Bob. But here's what I know, is I know Bob was born and raised in LA, like never left the same house. I also know that Bob lived through the New Deal, and you have all those awesome posters and images of like support the farmers or buy local goods or things like that, and the whole Norman Rockwell kind of like, that was formative years for Bob of living through this kind of propagandistic like notions of America farms and things. So I can speculate that probably had dramatic effects of Bob's image of country and the farms, and for our benefit, because it's like, boy, is it a romantic, beautiful times where, the country's telling you like, oh, the country's great, and like goats and farms, and look how like healthy and good these carrots are, with all this like beautiful artwork to go along with it.
That would like totally inform the way that it's played, even like posters that are made for it nowadays, like things that we do around the show is like trying to capture this romantic image.
Yeah, I think that like do I have fun like within the capacity of my job, that like everything we do at the theater, that like Bob's not around, and it's all about kind of trying to tap into what the intentions and the motives were for things that we're working on now. And even like new things we make, we're not really trying to make anything contemporary. We're always trying to kind of make things almost like timeless. And to be timeless, you kind of just got to like tap into like just feelings more than actual like specific things. The most important part of like everybody's job who works at the theater is like kids don't care about that. Kids don't care about the artwork, inspirational, the theatrical, stagecraft concepts of how you're doing it. All they care about is being swept away into this like magical place that will inspire their imagination for an hour and beyond, for hopefully the rest of their life. Mm-hmm. So essentially the job of everyone at the theater is to do all this research, know where it's coming from, be creative, do all this art, but at the end of the day, that should disappear. Like nobody should be thinking about the puppeteer behind the puppet. They're just in Papa Goat's farm.
Right.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
Yo, 1 foot, foot, 1 foot, and foot, and their brother they called foot. 3 rabbits who played games. They had peculiar names.